Well, good evening, everybody. It is a evening of working on a Dodge Ram 2500. This is a 2002 model, and it has the V10 engine in it. First one I've seen in quite some time. It belongs to a neighbor. I'm going to work on it tonight. He's got a transmission problem, and there's the letter designation on the engine. Big engine. This thing must have quite a bit of power. The motor is fine. What's going on is the transmission. He was driving it, and all of a sudden he lost third, fourth, and overdrive. It quit working. So did some research, and I've worked on a lot of transmissions, and it turns out that these transmissions do have some issues, and anytime your transmission doesn't shift past second gear, it doesn't go into third, fourth, or overdrive. There's a little spring in the 3/4 accumulator that often breaks. Now, there are other times that you could have other things going wrong that would cause that issue, but this seems to be one of the bigger issues, and it's a pretty easy fix, and I'll show you what I'm doing here in a second. Now, on this particular engine, as big as it was, I was really worried about pulling the transmission out, so that was good. I did not have to do that. I basically took the oil pan off the transmission, took the cross member off. I didn't have to really do all of this. Let me crawl up under here. It's getting kind of late, and I'm hoping that my light, wherever it is, can maybe... Okay, I think we'll be okay. You can see what's going on. I took off the oil pan off the transmission, drained it and everything, but I actually did that last. The first thing I did was I took out the cross member, which is back there, and the drive shaft, and I needed a little more room to get in here because up on the top of the transmission here there is a line right there where my finger is that was leaking, and I thought this transmission line was all aluminum, but apparently it's not. It's not quite aluminum 100%, but it did rust, and there's a hole there. So I had to take these cross member and stuff out of here to actually get a little more room in here to work. You don't have to do that if you're going to replace what I'm going to show you here in a second. If you can work around all that, that's great, but I just wanted to kind of get some stuff out of the way. But that cross member, I'm going to tell you right now, it is pretty much a pain in the ass to get out because the edge of it is up into the frame. You got 4 bolts, and it slides quite a ways up in it. One thing I can say, at least Dodge put frame bolts into the frame, of the side of the frame, where you can get in there and take the bolts out. I worked on a Ford the other night, Explorer, and you can't get in there. If you break those cross member bolts off on the frame, you're screwed. You pretty much have to drill them out or weld new ones in, but at least this was easy to get out. It's a pretty big cross member, and of course you got this little skid plate that goes underneath, and there's the front drive shaft, and I marked it with some paint so I know how it goes back in. All right, let's get to the goodies. We can get back under here, and let's see if my camera light will work. Okay, yeah, it looks like we'll be okay. All right, now what I did, I took the oil pan off the transmission, drained all the fluid out, and you're going to get quite a bit of fluid on you, so just so you know. And oh, by the way, I did break this line loose, and if you have this problem, this does take a 18 millimeter wrench to get on, and you can break that loose. And let me see, I need to go get my flashlight. You're not going to be able to see this. Hang on a second.